So, I'm having a pretty terrible day. Just all around awful time. And there's no sign of it getting any better, which I have reluctantly made peace with. One of the things that is making it significantly worse and harder to just get over is the fact that I'm trying to take my mind off of things by watching, videos on the internet or live streams, as someone in my field would expectedly do. And I'm encountering a problem where there are advertisements, so I figured that I would talk about it. I want to make something clear right now before we really get into it, is there shouldn't be any ads on any of my content, but if there are, I highly encourage you to skip them, bypass them, ignore them, do whatever you have to do to not engage with any advertisement that's attached to any of my content. And I say that because I have every intention and have already been doing the exact same thing to literally everybody else that I follow, whether they be close friends or people that I'm just a fan of. That includes HoloLive VTubers, VShojo VTubers, everyone. I'm skipping your ads. I don't care. But I do want to talk about why. And why. I mean, honestly, nobody likes advertisements. They don't like it. If they wanted a product, they would seek it out for themselves. They would do their own research. They would go find it and buy it themselves. Advertisements have rooted themselves into media and have been as such for a very, very long time. Well, even before commercialized television, local television. The problem with advertisements now is, for me personally, the way I see it is advertisements are almost never relevant, or they are hyper aggressive. Usually both. I spend a lot of time at the computer. I spend a lot of time on the internet. Why on earth are they advertising some soccer mom SUV to me? Why are they advertising that, period? Let alone 9 to 10 to 12 times in a single day. Why is this happening? Why is that a thing? I heard you the first time. You're selling a car. I don't want it. Nobody I know wants an SUV. And if they wanted an SUV, they'd go out and they'd look and research on their own. They don't need you punching them in the face with the same repetitious thing. Now, in the past, commercials and advertisements would have catchy jingles to kind of get you, into the tune. Used to the idea of using their product. You had JG Wentworth, 877 Cash Now. You had CreditReport.com with their catchy jingles. And those were great. But you didn't play those 12 times over and over and over again. You'd space them out. A commercial break was exactly that. It was a break. The other problem with the aggressive advertising technique is that it's incredibly disruptive. Television programs are scheduled to have breaks so that you're not missing any part of the show while the advertisement itself is running. So it's annoying to have to stop, but it's not a big deal because you're just going to pick up right where you left off. When it comes to live streaming, that isn't the case. And very often I found myself missing out on very exciting, very funny moments during live streams because Twitch or YouTube or whatever platform would have you decided, no, forget what's happening in the moment. Forget the very reason that you're here, a live stream. We're going to just completely disconnect you from that experience to shove this junk in your face that you don't want, and you already know that you don't. And it's not just with cars and sports drinks and subscription services and any of that stuff. It's also been video games, surprisingly enough. Video games. We like those here. No, we don't. Video games have been trash for many, many years, and those are also... That's another video for another time. Hoyoverse is, as a lot of you know, very popular. We've got the Genshin Impact and the Honkai Star Rail and all that. Triple Z's coming out soon. I, at one point, played Genshin Impact, and I was invested enough, I suppose. When Honkai Star Rail first came out, I was kind of holding back because I wanted to see, you know, if they were going to introduce some characters that really vibed with me as far as like their design and their voice acting and stuff like that. But then I started to get advertisements for Honkai Star Rail. And I, to this day, have not stopped getting advertisements for Honkai Star Rail. A lot of my friends play it. One of my friends really, really enjoys that game. I have been bludgeoned with so many advertisements for that game that now I'm not playing it out of spite. Just a pure spite. I don't want to hear about Honkai Star Rail. I don't want to see it. I don't care what musicians are doing music on it. Cosmograph himself could release a full album of Honkai Star Rail music and I would be like, nope, I refuse. I don't want to see it recommended to me. I don't want to see it on my timeline. I don't want to see anything regarding that game. And it has nothing to do with the quality of the game itself. It has to do with the fact that I have had enough of the advertisements. Genshin Impact had the same issue, but it was never to this extreme. Never ever. I feel like everybody who was going to play Star Rail is already doing it. So what the heck are the advertisements even for? While we're on the subject of mobile games, yes, the fake mobile game ads that in the advertisements themselves claim that they are not fake, those are obnoxious and annoying. Because I feel like the predatory nature of those types of ads is people intentionally making silly and simple mistakes in order to make you go, oh, I could have totally beat that, or I would have never struggled with this part, or something like that. And the fact that the gameplay, if it were part of a real game, might actually be a decent time waster. You know, those games where you drag the little soldier left and right as it shoots and you have to like make decisions. I feel like if that were part of a real game, I wouldn't mind, you know, waiting for Destiny or something to load for 30 minutes and playing that while it does so. But again, it's not a real game. It's just being pushed into your face repeatedly and trying to sell itself as if it were a real game. Advertisements are the worst. And even though a lot of people benefit from that ad revenue, I feel like they benefit far more from direct support. So while I'm constantly installing extensions and ad blockers and uBlock Origin and every other tool I can get my hands on to bypass these annoyances, I still find myself supporting those people in various ways. Advertisements are they're deeply ingrained, and the hope is that some of these larger platforms start to realize that they can get by without the ad revenue. Because the more they push the advertisements, the harder people push back. And let me see. Let me just check my extensions really quick. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different extensions installed just on one singular browser to combat advertisements. And I have no intention of stopping anytime soon. Now, there are exceptions to this. I think that people who include their advertisements in their content, for example, Internet Historian has some fantastic ads. He turns those deals, those sponsorships into content, and it's good content that I'm more than glad to sit through and watch, even if I'm not going to buy the product. Because it's not interrupting any part of the experience. If anything, it's adding to it. And that's something I feel like these companies need to consider a little bit more. But I know that they won't, because considering that means more effort, and more effort means more money, and they don't want to spend money, they want to take it from us. But they don't quite understand that what they're actually doing is diminishing their sales, because there are a lot of other people like me who feel the same way. They don't want to deal with this, and the fact that they have to deal with it is making them less likely to buy any sort of the product. I feel the same way with gamer subs. So gamer subs, whoever has the waifu cups, I don't know and I don't really care. I see their advertisements all the time. I see them on Twitter. I see Twitter posts. I see, a lot of people that I follow, they have their flavors and they have their own waifu cups and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's cool. The one time I actually looked into getting one of those things, I was astonished about not only just the price, but how long it was going to take for the cup to actually get to me, being several months. And I was like, oh, this is stupid. I could go to their art tag and get a picture and put it on a plastic cup for not even a fraction of the price. Now, I don't know exactly the details of their sponsorship deal or how much money they get every time a cup sells or their code gets used. I don't really care. It'd be way faster for me to just make my own fan product and then use the leftover money to donate to them directly. But they're an explosively popular company, I think, and I don't really understand why. But the fact that so many different people have made gamer subs posts and have, these deals going on has made me, at first it was making me curious, but now that curiosity has turned that into outright resentment. Like, the words gamer subs is just a gigantic red flag that I kind of wish I could put a filter on my brain to never hear or see ever again. And it's especially weird because at the same time, I still really enjoy all of the people who have those sponsorship deals. I like Aethel, I like Nian, I kind of like Shy Lily, I like Doki Bird. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not waiting 8 to 9 months for a plastic cup. Anyway. Just something that's been getting on my nerves, and I know a lot of people are like, well, if you have so many extensions, how are you still getting ads? I'm still getting ads on my phone. And I'm using my phone because I'm having a bad day and I want to lie down and watch stuff on my phone. But I have to sit at my computer where all of the extensions are to get past the ads. So, just something that I just wanted to vent about. I know in the name of supporting your favorite creator or whatever, a lot of people are kind of against ad blockers and stuff like that, but honestly, I feel like they understand. It's a problem that people are only willing to talk about on the side of who's making the money, and it's a discussion that goes so much more beyond that, because it is disruptive, it is predatory, It's honestly something akin to brainwashing, really. Like, if you force somebody to listen to something long enough and enough times, they'll eventually be able to repeat it verbatim. And not having any way to bypass that is just, I don't know. To me, it's disgusting and very annoying. But that's gonna do it for me. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I wish that I had some alcohol.